We're joined tonight in the post-game news conference with head coach Tony Dominguez, junior guard Daniel Hornbuckle, junior forward guard Jalen Green. 87-77 win at home in the home opener for the Vikings. Coach, if you just talked about the team's performance today, you guys played really well in all three games. The results weren't there in California, but you guys hung in there today, built a lead, and then expanded it there at the end. Talk about the team's performance and what it's like to get a W.
Yeah, I mean, we'll touch on all those things. I think first, Concordia is a very good team and well coached. Ken has done a phenomenal job at Concordia, and so that is a great win for us. We have another tough one tomorrow, well-coached team. As far as us, we had a tough weekend because we lost by 1 point each game. Frustrating because we did have the first 5 minutes of the Humboldt game where we were a little disjointed, haven't played in a long time, kind of got it under control, had the lead at the end, let it slip, and then the same thing happened at Dominguez. We dominated that game for 35 minutes, 36 minutes of that. And they're a good team, not saying, we just played very well. And so it was hard to take those losses, but we did grow from that. We had some moments of just what we need to do to win close games. And that's what we talked about tonight in some of those timeouts, where we're not going to let some of the goofiness of them hitting some wild shots and some of the calls going one way or the other. And we just kept our minds focused. So I was very proud of all of our guys, in particular these two guys, and all of them. But obviously they're here to talk, but they did a phenomenal job of keeping their heads, and a very good group of guys.
Jalen, talk about your performance tonight. You had 18 points, 8 for 11 shooting, but down the stretch you made that big three-pointer when they were starting to creep in and had some momentum on their side. You hit that big shot. What was that like to swing the momentum back into the Vikings' favor?
It's all about staying calm and being able to be reliable for your teammates. For moments when they get a little spacey and frazzled and get a little rushed based on the other team, you just got to be able to stay calm as a senior and a captain, and be able to deliver in clutch moments.
Daniel, you've been steady in all three games. It's your first real year as a Viking, even though you spent here with COVID. Talk about what it's been like to be out on the court. You got the start tonight, but you're just fueling the fire. Hitting threes and assists. Tonight you had your 5 for 11 shooting. 14 points. Also had 4 assists. Just talk about what it's been like to be out there and leading the Vikes.
To be honest, I feel like I play like trash, but at the same time, like Coach was saying, we have great teammates and great players here, so I'm able to have a trash game, and we still win by 20 almost. So just like what Jalen was saying as well, with him being a senior, and D-Lo and RJ and Luke, all the staples and all the veterans here, it's just great to be here, that they have the faith in me to shoot some of those kind of crazy looking shots, and even with Coach, they have the faith in me to shoot some of those crazy looking shots. So I just appreciate them and just keep going, keep it rolling.
Tony, how do you talk to your team? The lead was kind of fading there a little bit. What do you say to them when you're just saying believe in yourselves? You guys have a motto this year that says trust.
Well, yeah. Let me first touch on you saying you played like trash. You had a good game. We are probably one of the hardest working teams we've had, and I think the expectations are high. And so I think last weekend just frustrated us, but you didn't play like trash. You played really well.
I agree.
Anyway, as far as what we said to the team, it's just we're all growing, and anxiety is something that rules the world. And every time people get anxious, you see how we react to it. And even me, turning here 50 soon, you have those moments, right, where you're just like, oh, how can you call a charge by shooting a 3? And I think what we just said to each other, as a group in the huddle, all the coaches, all the players, we're just working on our mental toughness, because that's really what life's about, right? So we're just trying our best to fight through those moments, and that's what we talked about. We weren't going to let anything, take this victory away like last weekend.
How good was it to play at home? You guys were on the road. You guys didn't play last year. You guys had a real crowd in Carver. I know we played Lincoln with a good crowd as well, but how nice is it to be wearing the home whites, Jalen?
It feels really good after a year of COVID. We spent, those first years I was here, we had great crowds and fan support, and it's really, it was really fun. It's always a great atmosphere up at Western, and then we had the COVID year, a little bit of a lull, but we're starting to get back to it, and it's great to see all the fans here in Carver, and I'm excited for you guys to keep coming out, watching us get these dubs.
Coach, and they're tough opponent. There's a Pacific tomorrow night, and then kind of starting, but they're always a formidable opponent, and they'll be up for a good battle. What do you say to the team about preparing for tomorrow night?
Well, they're going to be fighting, and so are we. We're still digging out of a hole. We're going to always be fighting every game, and Coach Bond does a great job. And I know that it's not really coach speak. I mean, Azusa's been a really strong program. You could see when they played this last game, they're very well coached, very disciplined. They're a very good team. So we've got our hands full, but I think we can keep battling. I think it'll be a competitive game. I think we can do very well, but we'll see how that goes.
Last question, I don't want to ask you this before, in case we forget tomorrow, but the tournament's named Chuck Randall, after a Viking legend, a pioneer in the Northwest in basketball, but also nationally. You had a chance to kind of get to know Chuck, and you treated your program very well, but just tell us a little bit about Chuck and what this tournament means to play with his name on it.
I tend to gravitate towards the older mentor figures. You got Coach Jackson, who's 20 years older than me. I had a really good mentor in Keith Kingsbury. And then, honestly, when I started, Chuck was a great help to me. He was, him and I really bonded and connected. And he had some goofy ideas. I mean, he invented the breakaway rim. No one really knew that. This guy from Western. He wrote a book. And, I mean, he just had a lot of things that I actually admired. And I loved his spirit. He was... all the way up until he passed, he was telling me, you got to get those guys, playing. He was just into it. And he was a very good coach when he was here. And so to have the tournament named after him is a gift for him and his family. I think they well-deserved. He spent a lot of nights as a coach being away from family. And so, to have an event is great. So it's fun to have that, and hopefully we can continue to make him proud.
The Chuck Randall Classic concludes tomorrow. The 5 o'clock game is Seattle Pacific and Concordia Irvine. The host Vikings will play Azusa Pacific 7:30. Come out and see the Vikings in person, and also tune in online, www.vikings.com. Congratulations, guys, on the great win tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hi, Mom.
Let's do it. Go Vikes.
Hi, Mom.
Shout out to my people.